Hi everybody, it's Valens. Welcome back to another video. Today we have a fairy tale cottagecore kind of vibe going. Copy that shape down there. The red is for pillars, the pink is for the house walls, and the blue is for what is going to be the tower. You're going to bring these up 6. These are going to be the pillars. And you're going to use upside down stairs on the top and regular stairs on the bottom. Of course, you had to add some trapdoors. And once you got that done, we're going to start over here. We're going to also go up 6 with this, mixing the woods together for texture. Upside down stair on the bottom, and you're going to do a regular stair on the top. Good job, you're doing great. Now you're going to add a stair on the outside. Bottom, normal, and top upside down. And you're going to do this to the other pillar on the other side. And then once you have that done, we're going to go to the other side of the house and kind of make a similar shape that we have over there. You're going to bring them up 6, and then you're going to add the upside down stairs. And then you're going to go to the bottom and do what we've been doing. Make sure you're adding your trapdoors. Then on the outside, we are going to create that same shape. We're going to add it on both sides this time. And there you have it. And now we're going to have a block change. We are going to start on the walls of the house with a mixture of moss and tuff. And the moss, it's going to go it's going to go tuft moss, gravel, or not gravel, andesite, and then regular stuff. That is the gradient we have. And again, if this is feeling too fast paced for you, go into settings and slow the video down. So we're just going to continue to build up the walls. I'm not going crazy with the gradient because in the long run it looks fine. Now this wall will be completely closed off. There will not be any windows. And you could choose to add the gradient later if you just want to start off with plain stone and figure out how you would like it. Okay, we are going to leave a 3-block height for a door. And now we're going to go to the other side, which we will be doing a 3-block height, but no door on this side. And there you go. So now we're going to do is switch up our blocks. We're going to bring the pillar up. We're not going to go super high with it. We're going to be doing the same thing that we did on the bottom. And we're going to come over here. We're going to build it up 4 high. We're going to do the upside down stair, and then we're going to do the regular stair on bottom, adding the trapdoors. Now we are going to start on the wall. We've got some pillow stripped and not stripped. well, in the plank form, mixed with some calcite. We are going to have a window on this side. I have a regular slab, and we're going to be changing that to a trap door that's put down. Now, I was trying to play around with the shape here, and I decided just to go something simple. What I would usually do, probably just a 2x2 window. We are going to have slabs and a trap door. Now we're going to build this side up really quick, and we are going to go over to the next wall. You're going to build these up to the same height as the other ones. I think you've got the idea of how we do those. Okay, and now we're going to start on the wall. Again, with this, you can also choose to texture later if you just want to get the foundation of the home. There's going to be no window on that side. And here's where we go in and we put 2 stairs and trapdoors in between to give it some depth. We're going to be doing upside down stairs and adding some trapdoors. Okay, we've got those walls built up. We're going to do this door. Just going to throw in a random block, and I don't have a door, so I'm going to grab a door. Okay, we got the door down. So now we are going to switch up blocks. We are going to start on the pillars or towers. We're going to leave a little doorway for inside. Now this is only exterior only. As of right now, I do not have plans to do interior, but if that's something you would like to see, let me know. We're gonna take this up a little higher. And I love the way mud sounds when you're placing it. I don't know, it just tickles my brain. We're gonna keep building this up just a tad. I don't want it to be at the same length as the structural shape pokes out. So I'm gonna build it up just a little bit. And now we're gonna start with some stairs. We're gonna have those connected. Kind of making a trim molding at the top. And you see I struggle with placing the stinking stairs. You think playing Minecraft for 10 years or over, you would learn how to place a stair, but no, it never gets easier. And here I'm just adding some texture because I decided I wanted to do that separate. Because sometimes I like to step back and see what I'm doing as I'm doing it instead of just placing them all at once. And we're going to come here, down here at the bottom, adding some slabs. And we're kind of going to bring one slab higher, and then we're going to add a trapdoor and almost connecting them, but leaving out one gap. We're going to do this on both sides. And now that we've got that done, we are going to come over to the other side. We are going to do what we did last time. We're going to use our mud brick as a bottom base. And then we're going to go in with the packed mud. Or not the packed mud. Is it packed mud? I have no idea. Now this time, we are not going to leave an opening. That is your choice to add an opening how you would like in your home. We're going to build this one up quite a good chunk. And then we are going to add a little bit different. We're going to add a stair back there. And if you would prefer to do this on the other side, feel free. We're going to keep building this up. And now we're going to start off with the top trim with the stairs. I do 10 times better in placing them this time. And that is trim for this. And we're going to do something a little different on the side. We're going to bring almost a full block to add some sort of depth going. And then you're going to come on the other side and you're going to do the same thing. And then we're going to do what we did on the other side. Minus we're going to be adding a full block on top. Okay, now that you have that, we're going to switch up the blocks. And we're going to be working on the tower. And we're going to be building these up to be higher than what the roof will turn out to be. And I love adding pillars because it kind of feels like coloring. You get to fill in around them once you have them set. And you're going to be matching these exactly on the other side. Make sure all of your pillars are 6 high. Now we're going to add some upside down stairs to add a sort of depth to the walls. And on the corners, we're going to be adding blocks. Okay, we're gonna start adding some walls. This one will have a window. And we're doing the same kind of blocks as we did before on the house. And here's when I go in and remember I forgot to add those. I'm not being too particular on the gradient texture on this. Now here I do realize I am over one pillar. My pillar's farther than it should be because I'm supposed to have a 1x1 window. So you're just basically gonna, pretty simple fix. You're just gonna be fixing that one over to match it up. Did you notice before I did? Because I sure didn't notice. Okay, and everything should look like that now. Now you're gonna build this one up. I do realize I don't have it exactly the way I want it. So I'm gonna go and first I'm gonna start off with the trim, which I tried doing it on top like that and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's supposed to be on the block like this. There we go. And you're just gonna build that around. Now we are gonna be moving one of these walls and we're gonna be pushing it back one. I think it's on that side if my memory serves me right. So here's what I'm kind of figuring that out. Like, that's not how I wanted it. That's not how I planned it. So you're going to remove that. At first, I tried building it back up one way, and I'm like, that's definitely not it. And then I push it out to where it matches the pillar. And then I push this one back where it's going to be up against the pillar. Now, I do realize I have the dark oak plank totally wrong. It doesn't need to be there. And then I'm going to be pushing back this one as well. And then this whole wall is just going to come back one. It doesn't change it much and it's not that hard to fix. I do take off the trim just to make sure I do it right the next time. Because I wanted to have the roof kind of sticking out a little bit on that side more. And I couldn't do that if it was like that. So you're just going to be connecting those. I then realized it's supposed to be upside down stairs. And you're going to bring them out, cover up that. And now it's sticking out how I wanted it. I'm not going to leave you with anything that I didn't like. So I decided I would fix it now instead of just going. And then you're going to make a mark and you're going to just bring those pillars up. Then you're going to add your white walls. And there, everything is how it's supposed to be. I decided I wanted to go one up because I wanted a little more room for the windows. So it's going to be 7 in the long run. So you're going to now start with that upside down trim. And now you have that connected. We're going to add some trapdoors. Add some trapdoors in the windows. I often, here and there, do I choose to want to even add like glass planes for the windows. And now you're going to come over on this side and we are going to start building this up. Make sure you are texturing. Now this one is going to be taller than the other one, though it's not going to have windows. I did decide I wanted to bring it out one. And I do believe that is 14 high, which I am kind of debating. I'm gonna take this one over and out because I just kind of want it to be slightly bigger than what it is. And there you go. So we're gonna do the same exact thing on this side. Make sure you make sure they're even. Now that you have the one side done, you can kind of use it as a mirror to check if you did it right. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to be adding up these ones. And there we have it. Those are all built up. Good job. Now we're going to do the same thing with the upside down stairs at the bottom. And we're going to add kind of a little halfway, roughly. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you have that. We're going to come at the top and we are going to add some upside down stairs, kind of doing the same thing that we did on the bottom and in the partial middle. And building upside down stairs is one of my favorite things to do because it can add just a little more visual. Okay, now we're going to bring up the walls. Just mixing it up, not being too particular of how I'm doing it. Generally, I like the calcite to be on top, but sometimes I just don't care. Now you could also add more gradient to this. I just was on a limited schedule and decided just to do 3 to help the process be a little more smoothly and swifter. And you're almost done. We just have to finish one more. And there you go. We have these pillars built up. We're going to come up to the top. We're going to build it up one with the dark oak plank because we're going to be adding the upside down trim. Now, I didn't much care what block I put above there because it's not going to be seen in the long run. Okay, here's what we have so far. Now we just need to start on the roof. Here are the blocks you're going to need. For the roof, we're going to be doing dark planks mostly as the trim of the roof. And then you're going to be bringing that up into a half block, kind of. It's not even. It's not like a regular length of a block. And you're going to bring it up one more, out, up, and then you're going to connect them. And everything looks good. We're just going to bring this row out one more. And then we're going to start placing our blocks. We're going to start from the darkest block. Kind of mix it in with the next block. And then concrete powder does tend to fall. As you know, gravity in Minecraft. It's either there or it's not. It's a strange thing. We're going to build this up, though, before we add the lightest, which will be mossy. The mossy block. The very moss block. And just going to mix that together. I do start on this side before I finish so I can make sure they connect properly. We're doing pretty much the same thing on this side. But it doesn't have to be exactly the same because in the long run, it doesn't matter because they do not connect up. This one is, I believe, slightly lower than the other. And there we go. Now we can start connecting. I do remove that bit. And I'll change it white. I was just trying to see what it would look like if I put it green underneath. I didn't like it, but I will be fixing it. Because again, I'd never leave you with something I didn't like. Which I try to make it work, but in my mind, I really hated it. You're just going to be connecting the two sides together. Doesn't have to look perfect. Now I don't decide to add any concrete powder because in the long run you're not going to see it on the top and the middle, so here's where I decide to fix the roof. I might end up going back one because that's where the walls meet. And I decide where it's unnecessary to have it. I struggle slightly, per usual. It don't matter that that block is there because unless your friends are flying around and so creative, they shouldn't see it. And if they see it, just cover it up with mossy carpet. Or just do something different. Be my guest. Okay, now that we have the roof going, we are going to start on the towers. Now we will be using the same blocks for the tower. We're just going to be following like the outline that isn't dark oak planks. Make sure that's all covered up. Should look like that. Now we're going to start with the darkest block on the bottom. Won't be mixing any of that. We're going to build it up one more. And then I'm going to be throwing in here and there the lighter color in the last layer we did. Now we start to build this one up. I just give it a good look to see if it's going well. And at the very top, we will be adding the mossy. And that's what we have so far. I am going to be adding on the sides just some to thicken it out. And there we go. Now there will be some side trim on them, so we will be removing a part of it. So we're going to start to work on the side trim. We're just going to build it up. Kind of like we did in the last tutorial if you watched that one. And then we're going to build the roof out just a smidge. Adding some trapdoors. And there you go. Now we're going to come on this side and we're going to do something similar, but it's a little wider. So it's going to be slightly different. I decided I did not like the way I did that the first time, so I'm just going to be switching it up. And I end up sticking with that. Now we're going to be doing the same exact thing we did on the other one. On the other side, we're just mirroring it. Here I am looking to make sure I'm doing it right. And a little sidetracked it, I start on the side trim here. Make sure you're adding your trapdoors. And then we're going to add this. And there you go. Okay, so we're going to finish up this roof. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side here. Make sure you're adding in trapdoors. And then we're going to come up here by 2. Then adding the trapdoors. Then go around and make sure you have some on the bottom. And there you go. That is that side of the roof. Now we're going to start on the other one. Okay. Now I did realize the trim was slightly off. So I do go and fix that. Wasn't how I wanted it. Okay, so now we're going to start building up the roof. Make sure you're following that outline. Should look like that. Now we're going to come up and we're going to be leaving out some of the roof to add some shape at the bottom. And I'm going to start mixing in every now and again the lighter color on the last row we did. And we're going to bring up the concrete powder. Kind of mix it in every now and again in a place that you feel like it needs it. And that is that side of the roof. We're going to bring it up one more and mix some of the moss with that. Okay, looking good. Now we're just going to bring out the roof a little bit to give it more depth. Here I am trying to remember what I did on the other side and why it looks different. Which there is a slab missing on one of the sides. And make sure you're adding your trap doors. Now we're going to come up 2 on that side. Make sure you're adding like that. I decide to bring that up by 2 slabs. And there you go. Here is your house. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Bye-bye.